Yeah, a friend has a variation with a pig that, let's not go there. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Nelforge, the West Road Gateway. Last session, which was 2 weeks ago, the group finally took care of a thing they had found in the storm drains of Tuning's Fork, the southern depressed community within Nelforge. It was one of a type of mimic that was disguising itself as a small child, ingratiating itself into a number of homes in the area and, well, nibbling on the occupants a bit, much to their much to the detriment of their continued existence. But that's all over with. I think. Did I give you monetary rewards for taking care of that thing?
I don't remember.
I remember hearing about some kind of money, but I don't think I actually wrote it down.
I think you did. Like, if 100 gold is correct.
That sounds good.
Then you did.
I have 100 gold on my character sheet. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I mean, 100
That's probably it.
Changed. So.
That may be it.
That may be it.
Huh. Does everyone else have at least 100 gold? Probably, maybe.
I believe so.
Yep.
I'm not sure they did a whole lot of spending after they finished up with the bill comes due. I am enjoying naming these things, even if I don't tell you the names.
Oh, wait a minute. What was the reward? Did we get a monetary reward for that one?
Yes, we did. That's where your silvered axe comes from.
We. Okay. Okay, that sounds fair. Because otherwise, I would say
you did buy a certain amount of equipment after that session, I believe.
I didn't intentionally go out and buy anything, so I was thinking if we had some money from that.
You will still have it because
buy something.
Yeah. You will still have it because I bought the axe for you.
All right.
So
to make up for not having the give you the +1 axe to Koi, I think.
Yeah. Right.
Let's see. There were 1 or 2 things that popped up in the that session. In terms of non-monetary advancement.
We all learned a lesson about friendship.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, and that's be careful letting strange children into your house, apparently.
Yep.
Yeah.
And compassion can get you killed.
That what can get you killed?
Compassion.
Yeah. Maybe not the best. Maybe not the best lesson for an after-school special, but these things happen. Writers get drunk. Animators get fed up. They
talk to people is what we learned.
If
you pick someone up on the street, speak to them. Get their name before you get cozy.
Make sure they can talk.
Yes.
Run a shapeshifter scan on them.
So, what new spells is Saria learning?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Let's see. The magic chapter. Druid spells. Which level are you looking at? First, second?
I was looking at second right now.
Come to think of it, Andreas has a scroll case with 2 spells in it, but
exactly, it's 2.
Those spells may not be quite correct.
Yes, I'm just looking where I put them down. Somewhere I wrote them down.
You had okay. That the 2 scrolls in that the 2 spells in that scroll were Blade Ward, which is first level, No, pardon me. Oh, Blade Ward is a cantrip. And Alter Self is second level.
Alter Self. Mm-hmm.
And that has a few options you can use.
Okay. So what do I need to do to learn them?
Well, let's see. I believe you can, among these spells you have automatically are Read, Write, Magic. And those, I believe, will allow you to, let's see. Maybe it's a wizard ability. Let's see. Let's see over there. And if anyone else would like to help with the looking through of the book, I invite that. Wizard class feature. Let's see. Okay, here's the sidebar on sidebar on page 114. When you find a wizard spell of first level or higher, you can add it to your spell book if it is of a level for which you have spell slots and if you can spare the time to decipher and copy it. Copying a spell into your spell book involves reproducing the basic form of the spell, then deciphering the unique system of notation used by the wizard who wrote it. You must practice the spell until you understand the sounds or gestures required, then transcribe it into your spell book using your own notation. For each level of the spell, the process takes 2 hours and costs 50 gold. The cost represents material components you expend as you experiment with the spell to master it, as well as the fine inks you need to record it. And you can bet those inks are available in Academy Circle.
It's
you
weird
may be
that
able
it doesn't say anything for cantrips.
Cantrips are basically level 0 spells.
Yeah, like I think in previous editions it was like the cost of a cantrip was half of a level 1 spell. Like just
that sounds realistic. That
sounds
good.
Very reasonable. Yeah.
All right. So that means it's the 50 gold is per level.
50 gold per level. So for the two spells, that'd be 125 gold. However, you're also going to have to make an arcane check because this was a student writing these, and his grasp of the theory might not have been absolute.
Yeah.
All right. Go wrong.
So where do I have my arcane? Here I have it. So it's +5. Oh, that's a 20 for the Alter Self.
Okay, you can see where he, with a bit of experimentation, yeah, you can see where he went wrong with his notation and correct it.
Perfect. And now let's go for the Blade Ward. That is 17 plus 5 is
22.
22.
Oh, did I mention last night I ran champions? So yeah, math.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get that spell incorrectly as well. Incorrectly to your book.
I can
Correctly into your book.
Into the book in a correct manner.
Yes.
Excellent. Good. Blade Ward.
Yes. Punctuation. It's so important.
Yes, it is. So now it's important also to find out what Blade Ward actually does.
Yeah, punctuation can be confusing, though. You ever notice how hyphenated isn't and non-hyphenated is?
Yes, I read that very short time ago.
And of course, the rule in English spelling, I before E except after C, has more exceptions than it has confirmations.
I read a really interesting phrase that
Blade
was
Ward, page 218.
words that broke that rule.
Oh,
yeah.
Resistance.
Yeah, extend your hand and trace a sigil of warding in the air. Until the end of your next turn, you have resistance against bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage dealt by weapon attacks.
And resistance means that they get blunted, kind
I
of.
believe
It's not
I'll have
immunity.
to check,
It's
but I think
only
it may only be
resistance.
it may be you only take half damage. Let's check that out.
Well, there's an index here. Let's see if resistance is in there.
I'm right there. Resistance. See damage resistance.
They are sending us on a pretty little
A wild
quest
index
through the
chase.
book.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Index. See index.
Damage resistance 34. The first citation of it is in the Dragonborn. Let's see. Okay, I'm not seeing enough on resistance in there, so I'm going to the next best thing. Another book.
What was the question you were trying to answer about resistance?
Yeah, what exactly does it
What does
give
it mean
him?
when you have resistance to something?
Half damage.
It is half damage. Okay, I did remember that correctly. So let's see. We know Saria is learning a few new spells. We know Argyle is taking some time to transcribe some spells.
Mhm.
Now let's talk about what the others are doing. It may be a day or three before Judy and Candace are ready to leave towards Cephalville. And they have invited you into the caravan. Oh, hello, Shu. Oh, hello, Shu.
Hi, I'm so sorry. We had to pick up some stuff after lunch, so I'm a little bit late. I apologize.
That's okay. I'm kind of discombobulated too. So we're just sort of covering up for the end of the last session,
Yes.
working our way toward the next one by
Sweet.
seeing what everyone's doing.
Emmy, your hair is nice. Very, very nice. Love the color. I mean, maybe it's the same color as last week, but it looks really nice today. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting, so I'll go after everybody else is gone.
Well, let's see. We were just talking about what people were doing after the child monster was dealt with, and people got their rewards.
Like, assuming that we've already come back through the sewers and, like, given our statements to the guard and all that.
Yeah.
Yes,
Well, the sewers of Nelforge are very distinct from the storm drains for good reason.
Well, one thing I'm going to be doing is going around Academy Circle and discussing with people what kind of precautions would be, a good idea to try to spread around for ways to avoid something
This
like
happening again? Yeah. But we have to be careful not to let it turn into any kind of like xenophobia or
exactly.
So we have to do it very careful not to cause any kind of hysteria.
Yeah, we already said it's just important to speak and find out that people that whoever you find.
Sometimes there's somebody who's also. Sometimes you run into somebody who's also mute because they're traumatized. So you gotta.
True.
You gotta think. Basically, they're.
But I think like the threshold of harm is different. Like either like one person who needs help doesn't get help, or a bunch of people get eaten. So as unfair as that is.
People at Academy Circle are a smart bunch. I could talk to some scholars about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're a smart bunch, but one of the first things you have asked when you start asking about this and relating the events of the incident, they say that actually happened.
Yeah, they might not be the most in touch bunch.
Right.
Very intelligent, very educated, not necessarily well informed.
Yeah. For some reason, now all of a sudden I'm thinking of several of the scenes that take place in
Real life.
in the Discworld novels, that unseen universe.
Right? I was thinking of that too here and there throughout this adventure. It's like
Somebody proposes something and says, it should work fine if you don't mind the side effects. And the Susan, who has met wizards before, says, tell me about the side effects.
I think.
Well, among responses you get from the inquiries about the child and what to do about it, you approach an elderly fellow just to get some interaction into this. Yes, terrible creature, you say. Came from the outside. Well, clearly we need to we need the guards at the front gate to be better informed and know what to look for.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even have someone there, maybe even have someone established there with some form of true sight.
That could be helpful.
Mm.
Or possibly, among the standard wards that are going to be at the gates of every city, if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Come up with something that would
dispel illusions.
Or it's not illusions so much as shape-shifting. So
this is true. It was not an illusion it cast upon itself. It literally changed its form.
Right. Okay.
So something would have to reveal that form, and I believe there are spells that can do that. There are enchantments that can be put on the gate to inform people of hazards coming through.
Make it ring a bell if something shapeshifted comes through.
Mm-hmm. But not those bells, please.
Oh, yes, not those. A different bell.
Yes.
And we'll have gates with like 987 bells next to each gate. Which one is?
Which one is what?
Which one is it that's ringing? Look it up in the protocols.
There's another possibility.
Mm-hmm.
Do you go into more detail about how the thing came into the city?
Yeah, well, it turned up. It turned up and just sort of played the part of a traumatized victim of something, and basically thinking it was just a child who'd been through hell. They decided to take it in, which was nice of them. I don't want to discourage that kind of thing, but
as well, you shouldn't.
No, we should not.
But did they come along the West Road to get here?
I'm pretty sure they came in by the way of the West Gate, so they must have been on the West Road at some point.
Right. It might be a good idea. Now, the first checkpoint on the West Road, if you were to head to Mirabelle's Bauble on the other end of the road, the first small town you would encounter that is actually part of the road is called Chinkasport.
Uh-huh.
It might also do to set up some sort of advanced warning there.
Just sort of let them know that it can happen.
Yes.
Right.
That would probably advance the cause of keeping this. That would probably advance the cause of keeping the city safe as well. I do not remember the name of the woman they have at the tourist bureau there, but she resides out there.
Yes. Also, maybe start a fund for researching spells for detecting.
Oh, Coles to Newcastle, I'm afraid.
Yes, I know. Well, I'm sure there'll be people developing such spells as soon as they know that such things exist.
I'm sure we will.
Not even so much to make the world safe as just to be able to say, hey, look what I did.
Yes, we will.
Right.
Excuse me, I must go get a late lunch with my friends and discuss some future business opportunities.
Of course. Oh, by the way, Dave,
Yes?
I didn't say anything at the time, but it would have been probably, would probably have occurred to me to maybe take a bit of the creature after it's dead and say, well, here's a toe. You know, that should help or should give somebody a leg up in designing a detection spell.
Oh, that was
Oh.
really bad.
Yeah, that was nicely phrased.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I am a bard. It's just kind of instinctive.
No, no, no.
Well, it definitely was pretty instinctive.
Okay. I have a few things I'd like to do if it's my turn.
Let's do that. Yeah.
Okay. First of all, Hannah.
Mm-hmm.
Totally. Jesus. I want to reconvene with Hannah, who was helpful in this endeavor, even if indirectly. Plus, I just think she's cool. So, I want to. I'm probably going to be staying in Tuning's Fork for like another night or two, just to like wrap up things with the locals and like assure people and make sure the community knows like what's going down and stuff. So I will let her know that there is a double night hire for her if she wants for those 2 nights.
No, for what service?
Company, that's all.
Oh, okay.
Just, you know, if she wants to take a night off and hang out or whatever. And if that goes well, I'm going to actually invite her to a weekend, like away out of Tuning's Fork, because she seemed like kind of sick of her job and whatever. So I'm going to be like, you know, if you want me to treat you to a weekend because you helped me and directed me towards, you know, people I needed to talk to, I really appreciate that. So I will offer to treat her to a weekend out of Tuning's Fork. And I want to go see the various people that talked to me and helped me. And thank them personally and let them know personally that the threat has been dealt with. And, you know, and basically let them know that they can find me at the Temple of Briscus if there's anything else as far as like killing shit that they need done. Or, you know, like if your kid has a broken leg, you can send a message to the Temple of Briscus and I will personally come and take care of it. And, you know, I think the people here are savvy enough to know not to abuse this, hopefully.
70% community support, 30% proselytizing, perhaps.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Temple of Briscus, I don't feel like we need to proselytize because we are the guys that show up and fix your shit when it's broken. So, you know, we don't need to depend on, like, fairy tales. You know, it's like the proof is right there, visceral and immediate. If something is harming you, we will kill it. And if your leg is broken, we will fix it. This is what Briscus is. This is what we do. Right. You know, we're not about the stories. We're about do what needs doing. So,
if your leg is killing you, shit gets complicated.
Yeah. If your leg is literally possessed and eating you, then maybe another temple might have something to say about that. But like, if
we can heal a lot of stuff. If you lose a leg, we can help you find it.
Yes, exactly. And then I definitely want to hang out with my criminal friends. I mean, my totally not in the Storm Dreams for crimes purposes friends. And be like, all right. Oh, and Carol, I'm actually gonna like kind of pursue an ongoing business relationship with him because he didn't need to do that. Like, yes, there was promise of reward, but there was also a good chance that he would be murderized to death. And he did not need to do that. Even though he's a criminal, he still put his life on the line to make sure that the lives of others would be saved. You know? And like, I think I've been at war long enough to know that just because someone is, murderized to death, that's a to know that someone Like, you can't tell someone's morals just because they are a criminal, you know?
So he's basically an adventurer instead of a criminal.
Yeah, basically. So I'm going to be like, Carol, I don't know what form this is going to take, but I would like to pursue future. But I'm not so businesslike about it. I mean, like, you're a solid guy. You helped us out. You didn't have to do that. I want to help you out. But also the other criminals, I'm like, whatever you blokes are doing, I want to hear about it. Because I might want in. Either way, I think you can trust me not to rat on you by now, because I literally talked you past the town guard.
There's that. So I would like a persuasion roll first for Carol.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh. I got special dice for this character finally. I decided on like a brass and blue kind of thing.
That is.
Do you think that fits Saphir perfectly?
Mm-hmm.
It can.
I think it does. I think it's beautiful. So, persuasion. I'm not sure what my persuasion modifier is.
5.
James plus 5. D20
Okay.
plus 5 then.
Ooh, 17 plus 5.
22.
Yay!
Solid.
Hey, we had
Nice.
that today already.
Nice.
I rolled the same number.
Oh, same roll, high five.
Yeah.
And for the others, 9 plus 5.
14.
So,
Yeah, Carol kind of likes the idea. You want me to hang around with you and
I'm not really sure. I think you're a solid bloke. You know, you've got some cojones. I respect that. You seem like the kind of guy I want. And you know, I don't care about your hustle. As long as, I mean, I would have a problem if you were doing something I found morally abhorrent, but I don't think you are.
well, thank you for that.
I mean, if it's just a hustle, I don't care. It's not like you're, you know.
I will tell you, it's not just a hustle, but you don't want to get involved in it.
Explain. Are you in some kind of trouble?
Probably. But
Is it trouble you went looking for?
kind of went looking for it, kind of found it.
So, what are you guys, just revolutionaries fomenting unrest against the ground? Because
Yeah, nothing's so lofty. Yeah,
oh,
we've seen that banner in the tunnels as well. We don't know who put it there. It was there ever since we first got in there.
whoever they are,
Once we went to that ground, there it was.
yeah, whoever they are, I don't think they're as active. They might have completely disappeared. No, what is going on? What's this trouble you're in?
That I can't tell you. Sworn to secrecy for the sake of those guys, and I don't want my involvement to come to light.
All right. Well,
If you want me as that kind of friend or helper or hireling, just please let's not go there.
all right. Well, can you promise me you're not involved in any kind of wrong trade? Like,
Wrong
well,
trade?
what my character basically means is like you're not a slaver or a trafficker or anything like that.
No, nothing like that.
All right, then just if you get in over your head, and it's the way that I can help you, will you come to me?
If I get in over my head, I'll come to you.
All right, and I promise I'll only ask when I need to, and I won't judge you, other than maybe a gentle told you so.
Let's hope it doesn't get to that.
I think, friend, with whatever you've gotten yourself into, a told you so is the least of your worries.
It is.
All right. Well, then. I think you're smart enough not to bring trouble to me unless it's necessary. But, all right. I won't ask.
Thank you.
Just be careful.
And otherwise, what are you doing in the near future that you might need the help with?
Well, I don't know if they'll ever contact me again, but that group of people that tagged along as I went hunting, they seem to find trouble, or it finds them. It might be a little bit of both. Either way, the temple sends me on a lot of, let's call it community service in errands. Next, I'll be escorting a highfalutin family to their country estate. There's no reason to think that anything will go awry, but I know my luck of this late. My luck as of late, and it has tended towards the troublesome. And as I see you are a man to have in case of trouble, and you might like a sojourn in the country after so much time spent in the drains.
I don't know, that sounds boring. I'd love it.
Boring can be nice sometimes. I doubt it will be boring long, but
Yeah, this guy's got his priorities straight, you know.
right?
Boring is a
Like-
selling point.
Yes, exactly. He's like not getting constantly attacked and shit. Amazing.
Right.
So, because I like Carol, I think he's cool, and it is the trip into the country that I offer Hannah if she decides to take me up on, you know, a couple days, and if that goes well, I will offer to like take her into the country with me because it's a nice trip in the country and she might like it. So I like her.
Dude. Nice as that sounds, I think I ought to stay around here.
I understand.
Some people need help getting back up on their feet, and, well, serving them drinks in the meantime seems the right thing to do.
I respect that. May I come and call on you now and then?
Oh, please do.
I'd like that. Don't worry, I'm no prince. I'm not trying to whisk you away. I just,
As many scars as I've seen on you, I hope you're not. Let me know if you find any new ones.
It won't be long. It won't be long.
I'll look forward to it.
I'll show you every new one. I'll have to keep a record of them for when I'm gone.
I'll have to try to catch up.
There's a lot of stories.
Oh,
is
yeah,
there
you are
anything I can
doing that sort of, your voice is doing that sort of crackly, bitty thing, like you're speaking into a fan or something.
Let me leave and come back.
Okay. It might not even be that much. It might just be,
that is exactly what I said. No, it's not. Let me go and come back.
Ask if he could call someone an ottoman. That's nice. Let's see. Meanwhile, let's see. We have yet to hear from James, and we have yet to hear from Matthew.
I'm looking at, just from a mechanical standpoint, I'm looking at what spells I could take and considering the possibilities. I'm kind of leaning towards slow. I think I could have fun with that. So yeah, that's a possibility. The other thing is
this could be a problem with a spellcaster heavy group. Downtime activities are so predictable.
And then aside from that, I'm working my cooking. I'm doing the shaved ice stand and making some coin. And while doing that, Just trying to keep up with word on the street.
Let's see, word on the street.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, is there like anything written on the cobble?
No.
I was waiting for somebody to. Oh, look, guys, there's a word on the street. It's stop. Right in front of this intersection. I think this means something.
Now, what you
In some game or other, there was a table of rumors and stuff, and there was somebody wrote the magic command word crawl on a highly visible wall right at a really busy intersection. Forcing everyone who walks past to stop walking, and
That's just evil.
No, in the course of talking about stuff, you hear how some noble lapsed into a coma, or some other woman is having an affair with some other guy, and mostly gossip. And a little concern about stuff they've been hearing to the north.
The north?
Yeah, about some sort of monster made of beetles or something. Like I said, the stories are disjointed.
Yeah, I'm really curious to dive into the one about the noble that slipped into a coma, and B, the beetle monster.
Was that perhaps to the east?
Yeah, somebody better be bringing that story back to me.
I'm totally sharing all this.
Okay, you sort of get some pinning down on that. You get the the story of the noble that lapsed into a coma after you dig a bit. Turns out to be Count Lavanel.
Oh,
the previous one. Yeah, so sounds like the Duke has a story straight now.
Yep.
And as for the beetle monster, there have been stories of beetles being shipped north in wagons, and a monster made of beetles coming back to the south. Just seemed like a natural step in the sequence, don't you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you've been getting a lot of useless information, basically.
Well, I will still happily give that information to the party. I do encourage them to, in return, buy a shaved ice from me.
Yeah.
I will
buy 2 shaved ice.
Ooh, okay.
What kind of flavors do you have?
Fruit flavors.
I will get 2.
And one, I'm sure that's like booze.
Yeah,
probably
could
a
be flavors,
wine or
right?
something.
And booze.
Do you want grape or fermented grape?
That is excellent.
Yeah, well, the hard part is getting the ice to ferment.
Yeah, it takes a while. It does.
It's weird. It has its own preservative.
Fermented ice.
I feel like I wouldn't completely understand this whole idea of like buying something from her. So I might like
take it.
Like
I'm just picturing getting a handful of twigs and an acorn.
like I would probably like hand her some, like give her something like oh you want something in return. 1 minute.
I think you've been around Academy Circle enough that the basics of commerce would not escape you.
Well, I mean, not
prices posted.
Not completely, but I also kind of know Jilly well enough that I might pretend.
Fair enough. I'll let you handle that interaction yourselves now.
Yes. Okay. Right.
There you go. Let's slide this over. That'll be 1 silver.
Wow. A silver. Dang, this is a treat.
It is fantastic. Yeah.
Actually, no. I'll say no. Actually, I will stick with the silver because it's information and a slushie. The normal cost is a copper or two. But information in the slushy, well, that's different.
Oh, so you want something in return for the information? Well,
Absolutely.
let me see what I have for something.
For the Horde.
Well, this is a very, very useful tool. And I hand her, like a tooth of a carnivore.
By the way, for sake of benchmarking, a gallon of ale costs 2 silver.
Oh, okay.
A hunk of cheese is 1 silver. Loaf of bread is 2 copper. 1 silver will also buy a 1-night stay in a poor inn.
Okay.
A poor meal is 6 copper.
Okay.
A pitcher of common wine, 2 silver.
Nice.
Okay.
And it's 10 silver to a gold, right?
That's right.
The only thing I can ever remember is that a chicken is 1 copper. So I'm like, wow, 10 chickens.
Okay, to see how I want to react to this tooth, do me a favor and do a charisma check.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Oh, okay. 12.
I want to see if this is thank you or thank you.
12.
12. Okay. Exactly what is this used for?
You can cut things with it. With some people, there are people who could use this in things.
Do you have one that's gem encrusted?
Generally, animals don't keep gems in their teeth.
Well, no. I'm just saying, after the fact. Like for jewelry or magic or any of that stuff.
I
feel like we're seeing 2 different worlds collide here.
Yes.
Like 2 wildly different philosophies just going.
Well,
I'm not sure it's so much. I'm not sure it's so much the 2 worlds colliding and sort of slowly mushing together, like.
Yes.
Maybe.
Never do that again.
Yeah.
This is what happens when the party socialist and the party capitalist hang out.
Yeah.
I kind of look at you with this kind of that's odd look, and it's kind of like, oh, I never thought of doing anything like that before. I mean, I suppose it's a fashion.
I tell you what, throw in a leather cord and we've got a deal.
Okay, I can do that.
Okay. And I write up a little sign, ask me about my lucky tooth for sale.
Oh my god.
I just kind of look at you and go, you are a fascinating creature.
Thank you. So are you. And I give her a hug. That's so sweet.
Lucky tooth only used once.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I think the animal used it more than once.
Oh, I cast a little illusion on it, so it looks like it's glowing. And on the sign, there's a tiny disclaimer: glowing may not remain after purchase. Glowing not included.
Glowing is for display purposes only.
Right.
Glowing is for display.
Does not actually glow.
Yes.
Very tiny print.
Yep.
Yeah, one later customer comes up and asks, "Did you pick this up at Lawashar's Odd Lockets?"
No, but I make note of the name.
Lawashar's Odd Lockets.
No, I did not. This is actually from an independent contractor who works with all natural materials. She's rather amazing.
So artisanal, interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my god.
Billy, I'm standing nearby, just
Yeah, I'm like, and I'm totally doing all this while you are right there. So you can totally get in on any interactions that come out of this. Yes, she's a local artist, very talented. I pride myself on all locally sourced teeth.
Yes.
How much
Up
you
off the floor of the broken dog.
How much are you asking for it?
1 silver.
Fair enough. I'll look forward to hearing some stories about it later. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, no problem. You want stories about it? Make them up yourself. That's what I do.
I'm like, I know just the guy.
Be assured, if you can do a cool thing, Jilly will find a way to sell your cool thing.
Yeah. As she
I
apparently
happen to
does
know
with the
a
snow
professional
cones.
storyteller. He is very good. A little
Artisanal
imposing.
stories.
Mm-hmm.
Billy, that was fascinating.
Thank you. She means it as disturbing, and Jillie's just like, yay!
Yeah, it's kind of both impressed and disturbed. She's never quite seen anything like that, and she's a little uncomfortable, but also, like, she can't help but admire it just a little bit.
Yep.
Meanwhile,
Well,
Tess is
apparently-
just eating her shaved ice and watching.
Yep.
Just watching the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. So sticking around town for a day or two while Julie and Candace finished packing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the night passes uneventfully, unless you choose to have an event.
Only if it's catered.
For a modest fee, that can happen. I've got this.
Oh dear.
Yep.
Jilly's Catering Company
Mm-hmm.
and Artisanal Tooth Charms.
Exactly. You see, if I was really in the mood for a franchise, what I would do is sell hard candies and tooth charms.
How do you know which is which?
Ow, my tooth. Hey, do you
The
want a
candies-
money-making opportunity?
The candies are the ones that don't bite back.
Yes. You can tell by the shape, usually.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, like I said, a day or two passes uneventfully. We won't dwell too much on the timing in this case. And let's see. Argyle gets his spells in.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to say that, Emmy, had you decided what new spells Saria was taking?
Yeah, I put it in the chat.
Oh,
It was a while ago.
She
that was
unlearns.
a while ago.
Mm.
Well, yeah, since we're only allowed to have a certain number of spells learned at a time.
You mean prepared?
Yeah, prepared or whatnot.
Ah,
Well, you might prepare different spells on different days, for instance,
yes.
as you need them.
That is a common thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's the same thing with me too. I only have a certain number.
Okay, I see there. Well, not so much unlearning fairy fire and locate animals, because those might come in handy.
Yeah,
On those days, you remember to stock them. But
just
yeah, new
switching
spells.
for the standard thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was time for me to have some actual spells that, you know, could help during fights.
Mm-hmm. Well, fairy fire can help during fights.
Yeah, not a lot.
Hmm.
I think it at least gives us advantage, even if they aren't invisible or something, and that's always useful.
Yeah.
Advantage is very, very useful to a party that knows how to make use of it, which we should try to be.
Mm-hmm. I'll try to give you some opportunities to do so too.
You know, I think, Emmy, it's not all on you to be like valuable to the party. I think it's on like us too. So I think there's space for you to take stuff that just plain interests you, and like you don't have to all take stuff that is useful for combat.
Well, one of them isn't just combat. It could help us with light too. So.
Oh, that is nice. Is that a cantrip? Just a light cantrip?
No, it's it's a flame blade. I could light too.
Flame blade is nice. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just mean, like, don't feel like you have to choose your spells only for like combat, because I don't think like anybody would expect that. So anyway,
it can be very helpful to have something animal related.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because yeah, we are soon going to be in the countryside, and we are all basically city folk, except those who are fighters.
Well, you may be city folk. I commute.
Yes. I'm city folk.
And while not city folk, I wouldn't necessarily call Tess country folk.
Desert folk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we don't farm.
So on the morning when they're ready to set out, you each get notified by courier with a message to come to the north gate of the city.
Well, I'm not doing anything else, so yeah, I'll go.
That always was.
Well, there. Okay, and as you get there, you see 6 wagons.
Wow.
One of which is empty. One of which is empty currently.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And there's Julie Lavanel going about the business of talking with the guards about something. And
Julie?
Yeah.
That's the Countess's name?
Yes.
Oh, I just remembered it as something different. Never mind.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, my bad.
Okay, Julie is the mother. Candace is the daughter.
Yeah, Candace is the daughter. I just remembered the mom's name was something else. Don't mind me.
Okay. See, yeah, there's like I said, there's Julie talking with the guards. There, you look over the caravan. You don't see Candace at the moment.
Are we basically performing as outriders?
No, not necessarily. We have an empty wagon just for you, if you like.
Oh, very much so. Thanks.
Okay, my stuff.
I kind of give the wizard like a teasing elbow of like, oh, of course you plan to ride sitting pretty in the cart. Comfort. Well,
ride.
I will serve as outrider then, so that you have to hire one less.
Yeah, if you're willing.
Some of us are not suited to life riding in the cart. It's like an affectionate kind of teasing, like just trolling our guy a little bit.
You have
Meanwhile, I'm like, can I have some extra pillows and blankets?
I'm just like ruffled Jilly's hair, like, and some of us are a little too fond of comfort.
You want some drinks?
Mind the hair, mind the hair.
Sure, we can get someone to serve you drinks on the way too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to pick up for the journey? Because once you leave the city, you'll be out of the city.
Mm-hmm.
You don't say.
Do we have everything we need?
What direction are we heading?
I don't know.
I'll buy some fruit. Figure if we need it on the journey, we can eat it. If I don't need it on the journey, I can juice it.
Okay, and about the time that the mother starts looking around, now where did she get off to? Julie comes up. She has a small wagon of her own that appears to have several things on it.
Yeah.
And she motions to her drawer. Oh, yeah, this one over here, where all the people are. Yeah, that's the one. Okay. She's overjoyed to see you all.
Aw.
Mm-hmm. Says, I didn't know how well prepared you'd be for the trip, so I picked up a few extra things for your cart. It looked kind of bare. I got a few bedrolls, pillows, blankets, and yeah, just put that cask of ale in the corner. You okay? Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what a sweetheart.
Well, there's also my encyclopedias. You never know when you might find someone who needs an encyclopedia. But then who doesn't need an encyclopedia? Let me tell you about this model.
You people are weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed how the paladin and the barbarian are just looking this like side-eyeing it all a bit.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Sorry, I'm just kind of looking at all of it like, seems a little excessive, but okay.
Are we taking the town with us, or
No, just choice parts of it. And I think this ought to be everything we need. And by the time she's done distributing things among the other carts as well, she bought a few things to stick on a bunch of the carts. Her cart is empty, and she sends that off. Yeah, I got free delivery from the store for as much stuff as I got. So that's okay now. And we're ready to go, I think. Right? She rushes over to her mother. Gives her a hug, although her attitude is more, where have you been?
Stuff in, you know.
Something to write stuff in?
Yeah, it's a couple of blank journals, you know. Because if I come across a really good story, I want to write it down and, record it for posterity.
Oh.
I want posterity to be proud of me.
Let's see, where would we get something like that? She starts going off back into the city. And Julie looks over it. Seriously? So the caravan is held up for another 15 or 20 minutes while Julie goes out and comes back with several blank books, basically. And leaves them with the bard, and then goes up to the front with her mother in their wagon. And with that, unless there's any objection, the journey can get underway.
Okay.
Great.
Now, for the trip there.
There you are.
I'm sorry, was I missing?
No, I was.
Oh, okay.
My whole system locked up.
Oh, dear.
Eek. So how many people are going to be sitting in the wagon, not able to see their surroundings?
Me for one.
Well, you can see your surroundings. The cover of each wagon does not fit snug against the sideboards. Also, the cover is such that if you really wanted to, you could peel up one side or the other and expose it to the outside.
Yeah, but we know they're not going to do that. They'll be playing cards and drinking.
Yep.
So who is riding inside the wagon and who's riding alongside?
So I'm in the wagon.
Okay.
I'm going on the wagon.
This would be outside.
Saria?
I'm guessing Tess and Saphir will be riding outside.
Yep. I mean, I am. I don't know
Okay.
about Shasta.
That's everyone except Saria. No, Saria and
Warren. He's from
and Warren. Yes.
Saria and Warren are going to be inside.
I'm not sure, cause like she would be okay with being in the wagon if she was able to like hop out and like run along every once in a while, but like cause she plants. But if she can't do that, then she would probably ride alongside because plants.
Right. Okay, so let's see. The first day's journey appears uneventful. Until you finally come to, and I know I had a...
We sing along with the bard
Yeah.
and have a
Play
merry
some-
time.
I try and change up the repertoire so it doesn't all sound the same.
$99 bottles of beer on the wall.
Yeah.
Now, there's a question, which I'm going to answer right now. Okay, it's a journey of about 2.5 days.
Right.
The first day has gone uneventfully. And as the evening begins to creep over the horizon, you come upon an inn on the road.
On the road. Well, that's a terrible place to build it.
Okay, alongside the road.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whackety thwackety thwack.
What's the name of the place we're going to again?
Well, the name of the place you're going to is Cephalaville.
Oh, yes, that looks good.
Right. In the meantime, you have come upon an inn with stables. The sign over the entrance has 2 cubes. Apparently they look like dice, or they're supposed to look like dice. Only one of them has 7 pips on it, and the other has a skull.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean anything to anybody?
No. Can we?
7 pips. I
we
would take
find
that as don't play liar's dice with anyone in that place.
What is liar's dice? Is that the kind you play?
It's a bluff game. You roll the
So,
dice
yes.
and talk up what you rolled, and people either have to agree that you rolled that or disagree.
Don't play with Jilly.
And then when somebody
Totally
challenges
play with me.
you, reveal your dice, and if you were telling the truth, you win, and if you were lying, they win. That's one aspect of it. Whatever.
I'm not good at liar's dice.
Okay, stable hands are coming out of the inn now to escort the to help get the wagons stowed for the evening. And one of them approaches your wagon and says, "Welcome to the weirdest luck."
The weirdest luck.
The weirdest luck.
Interesting.
What a weird name.
I'm sure there's a story behind that name.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to hear it sometime while we're staying.
Yeah, we're going to be staying. Yeah, from the sound of it, you're going to be staying here for the night. Now, we don't have rooms for everybody, so you may have to stack up a little bit.
I'll sleep
A
in
little
the
bit. You'll sleep where?
Well, someone's got to keep watch. Someone's got to stay by the wagons. I could sleep in one of the wagons.
Okay.
Oh, so
That seems like a good way to spend our time.
Yes.
Yeah, but actually, I'm going to be spending a while in the common room, keeping things jolly.
Mm-hmm. So enjoying the accoutrements of the inn up until it's time to go to sleep. That works. So let's see. It sounds like Warren and Thagak will be spending the night with the wagons.
I'll take a watch.
Yeah,
Okay, so it
there's a lot
sounds
of
like
valuable stuff in the wagons, isn't there?
a good number of the Lavanel's belongings. At least
Oh.
those they chose to bring along.
Mm-hmm.
None of the
Okay,
ones
that
with the
needs-
painful memories or anything like that.
That needs
That
to
helped
be
them
guarded.
travel a little light, but yeah. Mm-hmm.
mhm.
I would say unless they have hired additional people to watch their stuff, I think that would be a good idea for me to make sure that no one is getting grabby.
Right. With that, you free up the with the volunteering, you do free up the drovers to enjoy their night in their common room. So let's see. We have Thagak, Warren, and Saphir guarding the wagons for the night.
And Tess.
And okay, Tess, Warren, Thagak, and Saphir all guarding the wagons. Argyle, Saria, and Jilly inside.
Yes.
Okay, let's see. Not expecting, pardon me, much to happen here either, and yeah, the night generally passes uneventfully.
What's with that qualifier?
That's because we were there. No one dared try anything.
Well, okay. Actually, the stable isn't the problem in this case. There's a bit of thunder in the distance.
Ooh.
Well,
But
really,
it's pretty far off, but it's got the sort of rumbling quality to it that for some reason wakes Sarya up.
oh,
Fumbling. A fumbling quality.
And out your room, Sarya, which faces to the north,
mhm.
you do see somewhere in the distance a few spikes of lightning, and several seconds later, the crack and rumble of the thunder that followed. It's a long ways off.
Mhm.
But give me a nature check.
Sir. That's 19.
That's a 19.
Mhm.
Yeah, something about that storm strikes you as unnatural.
That's not good.
Carrying with it a feeling of foreboding, because you're not exactly sure where that storm could have come from. Weather patterns generally pass east to west, and consequently the air that comes off of the wasteland is typically pretty dry.
Mhm.
So where'd that storm come from?
Aha.
Now, it does get enough rainfall to support crops, and you do get some fertile land on the very westernmost edge of the wasteland, but it's not obvious it's not obvious at this moment anyway where that storm came from, and that's concerning.
He's just trying to make you worry. It's all fine.
Otherwise, the night does pass uneventfully.
Okay.
And you can get a fresh start in the morning, full breakfast.
Has the storm dissipated in the morning?
In the morning, you look to the north, and there are still dark clouds over there, but it doesn't look as impenetrable as it must have been during last night.
Okay. I still probably mention something at least to Argyle then.
Okay. Do I know something about this? Do I have any idea what to make of that information? Let's see. If I try Arcana, maybe I get because it's unnatural.
Maybe
I'm
you
trying
do.
to.
Maybe you do. Give me a roll.
Yes. No, probably not. 9 plus 5 is...
That's 14.
14.
For some tasks, that might be enough. Not in this case, though.
Not in this case.
You're not really seeing the unnaturalness of it right now. It just looks like rainfall at the moment.
Mm-hmm. And even with the description of what it was in the night, I don't really connect it to anything I know.
Nothing that unusual, no.
Mm-hmm.
But,
okay,
it's to the north, and it looks like you will be riding into it.
Okay, so best we share that information with the rest of the team.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, let's just say that we think about this weather formation, but let's not make it too big of an issue to not spook the Levenel family.
Well, I mean, let's not say it right in front of the Levenel family, because that would be smart, but like, let's make sure that everybody understands that at least last night it wasn't that great.
Yeah, considering Candace's previous brush with the unnatural. Yeah.
Be cautious.
Let's not do this in front of them right now. They don't need to deal with it yet, unless it becomes a problem.
Yeah, nor really can you really deal with it yet because you're still some ways off.
Yes, that's true.
Mm-hmm. So the riding the second day. You're on the road, and you see... Oh, okay. Later, Matthew. Okay, there is a wagon coming the other direction. The horse looks like it's been spooked.
Okay, let's talk to the wagon owner or passenger.
Okay, that's the problem. It's passing at kind of a clip. How are you going to slow the horses? How are you going to slow? Okay, it's a wagon. The contents on it look a bit disheveled, and it is being pulled by two horses, which are both running in something of a panic.
Is there a driver?
Not that you can see.
Whoa! So we have to stop them.
Might be a good idea. How are you going to do it?
Okay, any chance of jumping onto the wagon as it goes past and grabbing the reins?
Okay, so you're going to push up the flap on the flap on the wagon up on the one side and try to jump onto the wagon as it passes.
Well, I don't know if I'm the best person to do that, but I could.
Matthew says that Jilly cast slow on the horses. Take that, horses.
Take that and that and
That'll
that.
learn you.
Very quickly trotting.
Poor horses.
Alter time around up to 6 creatures in a 40-foot cube within range. Each target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be affected by the spell for the duration. Any affected target's speed is halved.
Half should be enough to get a good look, at least. But yeah, I don't have anything to calm them down.
Well, you know, you live with desert nomads. You learn how to drive a wagon. So if I can.
Okay, so the slow spell will decrease the difficulty of jumping onto the wagon if you choose to do so.
Yeah, I'll do that. Let's see. What am I rolling on?
That's going to be a dex check.
Dex check, yeah. So my dexterity is +1, and I also have I have a proficiency in my dexterity saving throws, but I don't know if that counts as that.
It will in this case. You have a +3 then.
Acrobatics.
Okay, well that gives me a
actually acrobatics would be a good acrobatics or athletics. I would also allow a check on.
Okay, well I got athletics. Yes, athletics. Then I got athletics at +2 and its proficiency.
That's +4 then. That's a little better.
Right. So well, I rolled a 9, so that's
9 + 4 is 13.
Yep.
That is good enough to land on the wagon, which is sort of partially covered with a tarp. You land on that wagon with a splash.
A splash. Oh, is it wet from rain? Like?
Yeah, it appears to be.
Okay, well, in that case, jump into the driver's seat, grab the reins, and whoa.
Okay, and give me an animal handling check.
Oh, great. I don't think I have that skill, but let's have a look and see what my animal handling, yes, it's wisdom, and my proficiency is no proficiency. My bonus is +1.
Okay.
Here's where this has really got Well, okay, so that's a total of 12.
Okay, that is good enough to slow the that is good enough to bring the horses to a halt.
Uh-huh. Now we got to check the wagon, see if we can identify the owners, and maybe somebody up there needs help, especially if it fell off.
Right. Well, the shout goes up that the caravan should stop for the moment because you're checking this out.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Now, hold!
So I just bring it up closer so we can take a look.
Mm-hmm.
And also, if there's a mute child in a red scarf on board, we want to be able to...
Or even a yellow scarf or a green scarf.
Yes, I mean, I'm not picky about color.
Any scarf,
John?
really.
Would I be crass enough to do something like that this soon?
No, but
No, not this soon.
Yeah.
You do have a good sense of humor, so I mean, that would be quite the red herring.
Right. Yeah, you dig under the okay, you start checking over the horses and the no silent children at all. You find a silent man because he's at least unconscious.
Okay. So there is someone in there unconscious?
There is someone unconscious, at least.
Let's try and bring him around.
Okay, this would be anyone's medicine check.
Oh, maybe he's dead. So I didn't catch that. My sound was, I don't know if it was your sound or your microphone, but it was stuttering.
Okay. Anyone can make a medicine check at this point, since he's brought the wagon up next to the rest of you.
Okay. Let's medicine away. What is it? Wisdom.
I do.
Oh, critical failure at medicine check.
Oh.
I declare him dead.
What?
Okay, you declare him dead. Emmy, Saria, sort of rolls him over onto the side and pours some water out of his lungs and
Like just hefts him up and like shakes it out.
a bit like, yeah.
He died in the fire.
Burned. That is quite an impressive failure.
Oh, he's soaking wet. Apparently he died in a fire.
He is, in fact, soaking wet.
Yes.
He's decapitated. His head is right. Just listen to me. I know this. It's right there.
And once Emmy clears out some of the water, he starts sputtering and choking.
Oh my God, you brought him back to life.
It's a miracle.
You are truly a very gifted nature master.
Thank you, Argyle. I try.
And he is looking around. He coughs up a few more sprays of water before finally looking at the rest of you curiously. Oh, what? Who are you?
Travelers who saw your wagon running out of control. We managed to bring it to a halt. What happened?
Passed through a sudden driving rainstorm.
Yeah, we saw it in the distance.
No, it was today.
Well, there was one last night.
Oh yeah, I saw that one last night to the north from.
Yeah.
Wait, you're saying there was another one?
The thing I'm thinking, Dave, is just going through a sudden rainstorm. If it was hard enough to drown him, I don't think there's anything. I don't think that was natural.
Probably not. I'll also give you this, because somebody would surely notice. He drove through rain of that sort, but his horses are dry. The
Oh.
wagon is soaking wet, but the horses are dry.
Oh my goodness.
Maybe a bit
Weird.
frothy. Mm-hmm.
That's odd. What?
Oh, yeah.
Really,
Yeah, yes.
so that
Yeah, I
depends. If the horses are, well, are they like unnaturally dry? I mean, like, you know, because if they've been running along like this for long
they've
enough,
been running along like this, so they're a bit frothed, but not
Right.
actually dripping wet.
right? They're not. They haven't been rained on.
Right.
Weird.
Yeah, the horses haven't been rained on, but that cart has.
That's so weird.
Mm-hmm.
Very weird.
Like none of the like the stuff that attaches the horses to the cart.
Okay. The reins on the horses are dry up to the edge of the cart.
Wow.
So this storm was hitting
Localized.
the cart.
Very
Like
localized.
extremely localized. Wait, am I here?
Yep, you are.
Yes.
Oh, I am. I thought I was somewhere else for some reason. Sorry, guys.
That's
I assume everybody is there.
Yes, we are all here.
oh.
So what would rain as such would not spook the horses?
Driver falling over suddenly and leaving them uncontrolled might.
Right.
Burst of lightning, burst of thunder might.
Hey! Stop that. Stop it, good face. Sorry. Cat fight.
They should know better.
Get fight!
Meanwhile, Warren's going to have a disturbing tiding.
Oh.
I say tiding. That may not be the right word.
He has a yarn to spin.
What does it
Yes.
taste like? Oh,
Or
What?
speaking of tiding, it's seawater.
You say it tastes like tears?
sadness.
What?
Okay, so if you actually say that, then I look at you and I say, are you in the habit of drinking people's tears?
Is it male tears?
Only my enemies.
Oh, okay. That's weird.
Did a rain cloud made of the ocean just try to kill this man?
I would think that if it was the ocean, it would be really salty, though.
But if it was actually tears, that would probably mean some kind of weeping monster. I probably know a couple of stories about that kind of thing.
Monster. Like, wow.
Imagine how big the eyeball would have to be to cry that many tears.
Well, that would depend on how fast the tears were flowing.
The rare onion beholder. No.
Oh, I like the sound of that.
Man,
Yeah.
all because, like, somebody was cutting onions, I swear.
Mm.
That seems like a really good defense. If we just carry a couple onions around with us, if we're finding one, we just start cutting them up, and then just cries and it can't focus its petrifying rays on us and stuff. That's a great idea. I love it.
Wow.
So yeah, his reactions. I don't know what was in it, but yeah, I just wanted to get headed south, hoping. Yeah, Nelforge hasn't been hit by strange storms, has it?
No,
Not yet.
that depends on which direction the storms are going. Yeah, but
Yeah, travel around Cephalaville's kind of slow because the water, the ground's getting muddy.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
well, that's
So
interesting.
be careful with that.
And that's the other thing is that how unusual is it for the ground to be muddy? Actually, I mean, those don't tend to be my stomping grounds, or if it's
Right.
enough squishing grounds.
Mm-hmm.
But anybody who knows the region might know how rare it is for it to be that muddy.
Is there anyone you're asking?
Well, I just well, first of all, unless I know, I'm just going to ask. Is any is that unusual?
Going up and down the wagon train and asking?
Yeah, I just sort of yeah. These are wagon people. They'll know. They'll have traveled before.
And one of the drivers says, "Well, you get ahead. Rainy seasons do happen occasionally. You only get them like once every 10 years or so, though. They can make the ground a little muddy, and carts will occasionally get stuck in that.
Uh-huh. Well, that's something to keep an eye out for.
Yeah. Hear him talk about it. They must be having something like that, and those clouds are probably, Cephalaville's getting the rains.
Uh-huh.
Couldn't tell you how bad it is until I get there. Yeah, we're still going there, though, right?
Let's keep our eyes
Yes.
out when we go on.
Okay. And you continue on. He makes his way south if you don't need him for anything else.
We wish him good luck
Mm-hmm.
and send him off with our blessing.
And Matt's gone.
Okay. Just about.
And yeah, the rest of the trip is uneventful up until you get to the next inn on the road,
Uh-huh.
which has a picture of a mouse on the sign over the door.
Just a mouse.
Well, maybe more of a rat.
Okay.
It's some form of obvious rodent. Let's put it that way.
Oh,
And given that it's given that it's on an inn sign, it's probably not drawn to scale. Probably.
Yeah.
I hope not. Well, actually, I mean, I wouldn't hope either way, because if there are giant rodents here, that would be fascinating to me. So,
Sorry, you're looking on the bright side.
yeah, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a mouse. The mouse isn't like dancing, or it doesn't have some obvious quality that would lend itself towards a name like the Scruffy Mouse or the Tap Dancing Rat.
Yeah, no, what you get is stable hands helping to helping to bring the carts into the stables and welcoming you to the Scurry and Squeak.
Ah, that's cute. I like it.
It sounds like they decided to take a rodent problem and just go with it.
Could be.
Yeah, stable hand sort of smiles at you and says, "Yeah, you'd think that." And they get the horses
And I
into
try
their
not to think
places.
about how ominous that sounds.
Yeah. Okay, so Warren's out with the wagons again. Who else?
I think I'll sleep indoors tonight.
Okay.
Yes.
And
Indoors.
before I'll be entertaining the room if there's anybody there. Well,
Mhm.
also I'll be entertaining the what's it? Well,
The
The
what's it?
Lavanels.
yeah, the Langanels and the caravan guys, if
Mhm.
nothing else.
Right. And so you settle in for the second. So you settle in for the second night of your travels. You settle in with the people coming from the north and a few from all around. Let's see. One of the locals, you would have to guess, who is wearing an oilcloth and big coat, sort of looks tentatively at the crowd. And
Oilcloth,
oilcloth, yeah,
like he's expecting rain.
like he's expecting rain. And sort of looks over the group tentatively and starts making his way over to the Lavanel's table.
I'll sort of move nearby so I can keep an eye on the situation. Or no, if I'm performing, it's probably not a good idea. But I will.
Might not be able to.
I will keep a wary eye.
Okay. So is Saria going to go either join with the Lavanels or maybe intercept the man? How are you handling that?
I would join with the Lavanels because I would be curious.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so the Lavanels have company for dinner. Wait, let me rephrase that. Yeah.
Just step up to him and
Have
say,
company at dinner.
sir.
And yeah, the fellow steps up and says, "Oh, you're headed north, right? I suppose you have a band of adventurers to do something about the rain?"
What?
Ring.
Yeah, the rain. Cephalaville's been getting more rain than I've ever seen in my lifetime.
How much rain has there been?
See, I think I heard something about 10 inches this month alone.
That's some sort of record then?
Yeah. Normally in the rainy season, you get maybe 4 or 5 inches in a month, and that'd be good for the crops. Yeah, they're getting too much now.
Oh yeah, that can damage crops too. Now, I'm trying to wrap my head around the notion of there being so much rain that the plants die.
Yeah.
Back home, you never saw that.
Yes.
But I let them handle the talk.
Mm-hmm.
Too much water could drown them. Have the storms seemed unnatural?
They've been persistent.
It does occur to me, the player rather than the character, that if the rain is a little bit salty, that might sort of, injure the plants by that alone.
As well. Mm-hmm. Possibly. That'll take a nature check when you can assess the damage much more closely.
Uh-huh.
Brackish rain.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely something that, if it's harming the crops and everything here, that's a very important thing. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Candace sort of looks between you and him and said, "Is something going on?"
there's some storms recently, so it seems.
Yeah, and the guy in the oilcloth said, "Yeah, I'm not sure. It's just storms."
No, doesn't seem to be just storms.
What do you think it might be?
I don't know. I think something's wrong up there, like nature itself is broken.
Nature itself is broken. That's not good.
Well, I mean, if that is something that's happening, it's definitely in my area of expertise.
Oh, good. So maybe you will be taking care of it.
I'd be happy to check it out.
You might be the ones to do that. Yeah.
I'd hate to see anything happen to the animals and the crops and everything. And of course the people. Like, I realized it kind of seemed like,
as an afterthought.
yeah, it's like, oh, and the people too, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Of course, that raises the question, how do you fix nature?
Well,
And Candace, looking a bit more panicked, says, something's going on, isn't it?
Something's always going on, little one.
Yes, but we will manage.
I don't think it's anything to panic about.
Yeah,
Right.
well managed. It's what we do.
Well, okay, I look forward to stories of your success, whatever form that success takes.
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. And satisfied with the answer he's heard, he goes back to the bar to drink. By the way, the place got its name because the bartender is named Scurry, or nicknamed Scurry, and the innkeeper is named Squeak. Halfling brothers.
I love them. I want to give them all my money.
Yeah. Oh, they'd love to take it.
Just take my money. Have it.
I'll give them all of Jilly's money. No.
And who's staying with the carts again? That would be Warren.
Yeah, Warren is.
Yes.
Well, as I said, I'm indoors tonight.
Right.
There's
Well,
enough
the
of us.
stables are covered.
I will stay closer to the Lavanels just in case, like, Candace is worried.
Okay. Who else was with the wagons?
Aside from Tess, I don't know if anyone else is in Warren.
Well, Tess and Warren. Well, that seems to be enough tonight.
Oh, good.
Assuming it doesn't rain.
Nothing got ransacked.
And nothing did get ransacked. The night went peacefully.
Was there another storm to the north?
Not tonight, apparently.
Okay.
You do get out to the in the morning and find some small tracks in front of the tracks across the front door of the inn.
Uh-huh.
Looks like a few mice have gone that way.
Right. Before we go up into the area, we do need to see how much weatherproofing we can do of our caravan.
Well, the covers on the wagons are an oilcloth that will stand up to rain.
Right. Well, we'll just make sure they're extra secure when the time.
And there's a bit of flap you can use to keep the rain out of that little gap you'd see otherwise.
Uh-huh.
So you can batten down the hatches and make the rest of the journey to the north. And about very early in the afternoon, you get to the Lavanel's household. Manor house with some fresh landscaping around it, although as manor houses go, the landscaping is a bit sparse.
And possibly a little damp.
Oh, very damp.
Uh-huh.
And let's see, I just need to look up the name of the guy. Because I had this information at one time.
Peter Parker.
No, the gardener's name.
Peter Gardner.
No, the gardener. Wait a second.
Should be Guy Gardner.
I want to remember it was Laudrum Yin.
Yes, exactly. Laudrum Yin. Yes.
Yep, Laudrum looks over the grounds with some disappointment, shakes his head. Amateurs, I'll get this fixed up. And the wagons pull to a stop in front, and the men who drove the wagons for the day start moving boxes and things into the household.
Right. Everything is still packed up in boxes.
Pretty much, yeah. Some crates, some bags. There's some furniture in there already, but it's kind of sparse and dusty. And we will handle the arrival and in Cephalville more properly starting next session. It's about time to start. It's about time to sign off for the day. Goodbye, people.
Goodbye.
One of these days we'll have viewers again.